Hi, I'm Sandra Markle, and I'm going to share What If You Could Sniff Like a Shark, my book, published by Schiolastic. Here we go. What if one day when you woke up, you found out that overnight you gained an ocean animal superpower? What if you could shape change like a giant Pacific octopus, sting like an Australian box jellyfish, or have some other ocean animal's cool natural ability? How in the world would an ocean animal superpower change your life? Oh, look at that. Let's find out. What if you could sniff like a great white shark? A great white shark doesn't sniff the way you do. It swims with its snout straight ahead, forcing water into its nostrils and through short tubes. Before the water flows out again, it passes folds of skin packed with scent-sensing cells. These send messages to the shark's brain. That's how the shark smells what's in the water. Wounded animals are easier to hunt, so a great white is always sniffing for blood. It can smell even a tiny amount as much as 3 miles away. Look at that great white shark. Well, what if you could sniff like a shark? If you could sniff like a great white shark, you wouldn't need directions to find the donut shop. I love donuts. That's why I imagined that. What's your favorite food you'd like to sniff out? Well, what if you could shape-shift like a giant Pacific octopus? A giant Pacific octopus's body is boneless. The only hard parts are in its parrot-like beak around its mouth and its 2 plate-like shells inside its head where muscles attach. The rest of its big body is like a muscular balloon with flexible arms, so a giant Pacific octopus can fit through anything bigger than its largest hard body part, its beak. It can even squeeze through an opening as small as a soda pop can. Look at that giant Pacific octopus. Imagine, for one thing, if your body was all that flexible, all muscle. If you could shape-shift like a giant Pacific octopus, you'd never need a gate to slip through a fence. Even one as tiny as that. How would you use being able to shape-shift and slip through places? Well, what if you could sting like an Australian box jellyfish? An Australian box jellyfish has as many as 60 tentacles, stringy, flexible parts hanging from its box central body. These tentacles can stretch out as far as 10 feet. Each one is covered, wait for it, around 5,000 stinging cells. If the tentacles are touched or even just brushed against, these stinging cells uncoil, zap. Wherever one makes contact, it stabs, injecting venom. That's a deadlier venom than a cobra snake. Even a tiny amount causes extreme pain. Well, that could be useful, though, for you. If you could sting like an Australian box jellyfish, you could be a crime-fighting superhero. Look at that. Well, you'd want to use that ability for good. How would you use it? And if not that, what if you could snap like a coconut crab? The snapping force of an adult coconut crab's massive claws is the same as a lion's bite. Scientists discovered this using special equipment that compares size to strength. With such force, it's no wonder the coconut crab is able to feast on hard foods like coconuts. This crab also snaps its powerful claws to warn other crabs, stay away, and it can defend itself from predators. How would you make use of such a snap? If you could snap like a coconut crab, you'd easily make yourself the coolest Halloween costume ever. You could be a knight in shining armor. You could cut out a lot of paper and make all kinds of things from that. You could also cut cookies. Oh, there's so many things. You could make a kite. All sorts of stuff comes to mind. But what if you could puff up like a starry pufferfish? A starry pufferfish can easily expand to 2 or 3 times its normal size. Imagine being 2 or 3 times bigger than you are. The pufferfish puffs up by quickly gulping in a lot of water into its elastic stomach. Its skin, which is made of wavy folds, also stretches. So when a hungry predator like a tiger shark swims close, the fish puffs into a ball that's hopefully too big to bite. Getting bigger fast makes a good defense. Look at that amazing pufferfish, all puffed up. Well, if you could puff up like a starry pufferfish, you'd be the main attraction in every parade. Wow. But what would you do? You could actually also stick yourself tight someplace so you couldn't be pulled away. I can imagine lots of possibilities. What if you could light up like a firefly squid? Now, I have a favorite in every book, and this is it in this book. Firefly squids' bodies are covered with special light-producing organs. Each organ produces a chemical called luciferin and a protein called luciferase. The reaction between the 2 chemicals combined with oxygen from the water gives off a cool blue light. These lights can be flashed all at once or in patterns to attract a mate. The light also lures prey close enough for the firefly squid to catch with its tentacles. And there it is, lit up. I think that would be so cool. If you could light up like a firefly squid, you'd be the spy everyone counts on to send secret messages. My message to you would be, read and enjoy this book. Okay, let's see what's next. Well, what if you could armor up like a loggerhead sea turtle? A loggerhead sea turtle's shell is its body's armor, and it's hard enough to protect it from being chomped by a shark. The turtle's shell is formed from about 60 bones, which are part of its rib cage and backbones. These bones are covered with hard, overlapping plates formed from keratin, the same material that makes up your fingernail. Because the main part of its shell is made up of its bones, as the turtle's body grows bigger, so does its armor. And there is the turtle with its armor. And so, if you could armor up like a loggerhead sea turtle, you'd never worry about slipping on an icy sidewalk. In fact, falling down would be fun. Whee! What if you could enchant like a female deep-sea anglerfish? Only the female deep-sea anglerfish has a lure to enchant its prey. It is formed by a stiff supporting ray in the fin on top of its head. There are tiny glowing bacteria living in a bulb-shaped part at the tip of that lure. That glowing part stretches out just far enough to dangle in front of the fish's big mouth. In the dark ocean depths, the female anglerfish only has to stay still to hide. Then she wiggles her light-shaped tipped lure, and any little fish enchanted enough to come check it out is dinner. Gulp! And there she is, about to gulp. It'd be handy to have that light, though. And if you could enchant like a female deep-sea anglerfish, you'd be a world-famous hypnotist. You could also read in bed in the dark. What if you could glide like a blue flying fish? When a blue flying fish leaps into the air, its wing-like fins move forward and sideways, like a person spreading their arms wide. These fins lock into place with lots of stiff rays for support, and once in the air, its fins let a blue flying fish glide as far as, wait for it, 328 feet in one leap. With any luck, that's far enough to escape a fast, hungry predator such as a tarpon or a swordfish. Check this out. Isn't that amazing? Wow! If you could glide like a blue flying fish, even catching the school bus could be an adventure. What would you do if you could glide like a blue flying fish? Well, now that's the main part of this book, but I haven't read it all because every single animal has another page with a lot more to find out and even another what if you could. For example, look at the shark page. You get to explore so much more and imagine more too. Don't miss it. What if you could sniff like a shark? By Sandra Markle, published by Scholastic. When you read it, we'll share it together. All for me for now. Bye-bye. Have fun.